The book, The White Elephant in Seventh-day Adventism, authored by my husband, Brian S. Neumann, former SDA evangelist and Ellen White apologist, critically examines the issue of Ellen G. White and her claim that she was specially called to be God's chosen messenger to his end-time people. Regarding the authority behind her prophetic calling and testimonies, she challenged, "This work is of God or it is not. God does nothing in partnership with Satan. There is no halfway work in the matter. The testimonies are of the Spirit of God or of the devil." In the White Elephant book and in his seminars that deal with these vital concerns regarding Ellen White and Seventh-day Adventism, Brian brings numerous vital truths to the light of day.
Matthew 10:26 states that there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. Sometimes the truth can remain hidden for many years until it finally surfaces, usually by those who have undertaken the daunting task of investigation and research in order to do more than just simply satisfy man's incurable curiosity. The discovery of truth can greatly impact the lives of people and the world in which we live. But how much more important even when the truth concerns our outlook on God and our eternal destiny. Jesus warned us in Matthew 24:24, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive even the very elect." This book uncovers hidden skeletons and helps to shed a great deal of light on what has been a source of confusion and conflict for many years in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The conflict of how Seventh-day Adventists relate to the prophetic visions and messages of Ellen White have been more heightened with prominent SDA Dr. Ben Carson's decision to run for President of the United States. His involvement in politics flies in the face of what Adventists have believed because of counsel given by their prophet Ellen White. When questioned about America's end-time role according to the SDA interpretation of Bible prophecy, Dr. Ben Carson gave a clearly SDA Ellen White-inspired response.
I do know, in looking at prophecy, that the United States will play a big role, that there has to be a return first to a religious awakening, and more than likely, any persecution, particularly of the Sabbath, will come from the right, not from the left. And people will get a little bit overzealous, and then they'll say, "See how much better things are now that we've come back to God, and we need to go completely back to Him, and we need to go, and they're going to go overboard."
What Dr. Carson is saying, based on Ellen White's prophetic extrapolations, is that this false religious awakening that Seventh-day Adventists predict will take place in America will happen via Sunday-keeping churches and will lead the country back to Rome and forced Sunday observance. Rome, according to Seventh-day Adventists, is the 666 beast of Revelation 13. This religious awakening in America will apparently be a false awakening that will not come from the Democratic left, but from the conservative Republican Christian right, bringing freedom of religion to an end. Any thinking person is forced to extrapolate that exceptionalism belongs to the Seventh-day Adventist institution alone. Ellen White claimed that the Seventh-day Adventist Church is the only object upon earth upon which Christ bestows his supreme regard. A more recent 2014 dialogue by Seventh-day Adventist General Conference President Ted Wilson communicates these ideas in this way, and I quote, "This prophetic movement, the SDA Church, described in Revelation 12 verses 17 as God's remnant people who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus, is constituted in only one body of faith today, the Seventh-day Adventist Church." Chapter 13 of Revelation which includes verse 11 and the second beast, the USA, according to Adventists, outlines, he carries on saying, Satan's twofold war plan to destroy God's last day people. Yet, God's people are not merely victims of Satan's assaults. Revelation 14, he says, reveals the Lord's counter-offensive, his remnant people, the SDA Church, demonstrating his character and proclaiming his final appeal to the world.
Never before has Ellen White and the SDA Church been weighed in the balance and exposed to this level of scrutiny, not by an outsider looking in, but by a fourth-generation SDA.
How can we know the difference between true and false prophets? And where and in whom can we safely place our trust? This and much more will be laid bare in this 2-volume book.
To order your copy of The White Elephant in Seventh-day Adventism, go to tapepublishing.com/bookstore. To arrange for Brian to speak at your church or an event, email him at thewhiteelephantbook@gmail.com.